Hey guys, it's Ashley, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my Reading Rush TBR. For some reason, the TBR that I planned this year for the Reading Rush was so much harder to pick out than the previous years, and I don't know if that was because the challenges were a little different, or I don't know if I just couldn't find the books that I wanted to read. But regardless, it was kind of hard to come up with these books, so hopefully I'll still want to read them by the time next week rolls around, because this video will be going up the week before the Reading Rush, so who knows? Let's just get started. The first challenge is read a book with the cover that's the same color as your birthstone. That definitely didn't come out right, but you know what I mean. So, I was born in July. My birthday was actually 2 days ago from when I'm filming this. My birthstone is ruby, and so red is not a very difficult cover to find books for, and that's Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar, which I talked about in my July TBR. This is one of the books that I wanted to read this month, and I'm choosing to put it in my Reading Rush TBR so I can get it in this month, if that makes sense. This book is about a trans boy who is struggling to connect with his father and can only find solace in his best friend. And one day at school, I believe it is, somebody posts Felix's dead name as well as pictures of him pre-transition, and he goes and tries to find the person who did it. I've heard really good things about this story. I'm really excited to read it. If you think this book looks more orange than red, I don't care. I'm reading it for this challenge and you can't stop me. So the second challenge is to read a book in which the first word in the title is the, which there are so many books that fall under this category, but for some reason this was so impossibly hard for me to come up with a book that I was interested in reading during the Reading Rush, and also started with the. I don't know why, but in the end, hang on, it's on the floor. In the end, I settled on The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, which I have added to so many TBRs this year, it's not even funny, and I still haven't gotten around to it. So when I start the Reading Rush, this is going to be the first book that I pick up, and I will make sure of it. So the third challenge is to read a book that inspired a movie that you've already seen. So this was so hard, because first thing, I had to go back and think about the movies that I've watched, which is not many. I'm not a movie person, okay? So I had to go back and think about that, and then I had to think, are there any books that I already own, that I don't have to go out and buy, that inspired a movie that I've already seen? And there were very, very, very few that I had for this. I'm not honestly sure if I'm gonna be able to get to this book, but I'm gonna try. The movie that I've already seen that was inspired by this book is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I've seen this movie so many times because it's always playing on TV now, and it's amazing. It's a great, great movie. I love it to death. I will never get enough of Henry Golding, and I know my mom won't, because she does not stop talking about him every time this movie comes on, and it's a little creepy, but I've never read the book, so I thought, well, we have the book. We bought the book before we watched the movie because we were gonna read the book. We as in me and my mom, and then we never did, and then the movie came out on TV and we were like, might as well just watch the movie, and then we said no to the book. So I'm gonna try to read the book. So the fourth challenge was read the first book that you touch. And if you can tell by my face right now, this was my least favorite challenge. I just don't like a challenge where, like, you don't have a choice in the book choosing process, if that makes sense. I can pick a stack of books like so. These are all of the books that are the shortest that I have on my shelf, because I figured, why not go with the short book? Since it's a readathon, we can read more of them. I thought, okay, I'll just like pick one, but I mean, you can clearly tell by how they feel. If I wanted We Were Liars, I would go right here. This book is We Were Liars. Sorry, Ariel and Raylene, I don't like this challenge. So basically, I can pick like any of these books because they were all the first books that I touched. Actually, no, if I'm gonna be honest, this book was actually the first book that I touched, because when I think short books, I think We Were Liars. So I guess, in an essence, this is actually a book that's completing the challenge. I'm sorry I trashed the challenge, you guys. I guess I'm reading We Were Liars. So the fifth challenge is to read a book outside. And this challenge was getting a little bit like dragged across the internet and book Twitter because it's the pandemic and we're technically not supposed to go outside. We're supposed to stay indoors as much as we can. People who live in the city maybe don't have an opportunity to go outside. Not everybody has a balcony or anything like that. So there are ways to get around this challenge. It's just a reading challenge. It is not meant to be be taken completely literally all the time, okay? So if you change up the challenge a little bit, it's really not the end of the world. Like, please don't go thinking that this is like the end all be all. If you don't do exactly as this says, bad things will come to you, because it won't. For this, I actually do have the luxury of being able to go outside. For this challenge, I'm choosing a graphic novel because I always try to choose a short book that I can read quickly when it's things that are like read in the same place all the time, or read outside, or read while you're on the go, or that kind of thing. So for this, I chose one that I could get for free on Hoopla through my library. So I am choosing Mooncakes by somebody I don't know. I didn't do enough research into this book to know who wrote it, but you can see the author right here in the image that I'm gonna put up. And also, I know nothing about this story. I know that it's like witchy in a way, and I know that some people that I know have talked really good things about it, have said really good things about it. That's all that I needed to like pick it up. Plus I could get it for free from my library, like I said, so I am good with this. Number 6 on this list is to read a genre that you want to read more of. So for this, I'm not gonna be cheating, because this isn't cheating. You've always been able to do this for the Reading Rush and the Booktubeathon, but I'm going to go ahead and count The Hand on the Wall for this challenge as well, because this is a mystery thriller and I do want to be reading more of these, and also I don't want to have to add another book to this TBR, so this is the book that's going to be on there. And then the 7th challenge, which is the last challenge, is to read a book that's set on a different continent than you are on now. And I know that some people were a little iffy about this one too, because if you're on a continent that's not North America, it's very easy to just pick a book that's set in North America and be done with it, which you can definitely do. But I think the point of this challenge is to read a book about people who are very different than you are, and to kind of make an effort to read a little bit more diversely than that. So for this, I'm actually going to choose a book that I've seen a lot of recently because of the Readathon that's been happening this past week. And the book that I'm trying to bring up is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho, I think is her name. This book is set in South Korea, I believe, in Seoul, and I've heard good things about it. Again, I can get this book for free through my library, so it wasn't that difficult to make this decision. I tried my best to pick books that I either already had or could get through my library, because I'm trying not to spend money right now, even though I can't stop buying books, so this is not good, but I'm doing my best. So yeah, I know that this story is about this girl who is like it has something to do with, I believe, Korean mythology and like the fox spirits and things like that. Other than that, I don't really know much about it, so I'm excited to go into this and see what it ends up being like. And so you guys, that is my TBR for the Reading Rush. So if you guys are excited about the Reading Rush and have your TBRs picked out, let me know which book you chose for a book set in a different continent. I would really love to gather more books like that and be able to add them to my own TBR, so definitely let me know down below. I'm going to attempt to do daily vlogs for the Reading Rush, so I'm hoping that that'll go okay, and then I'll be able to edit as fast as I can film and read all at the same time. And if you've already created an account on the Reading Rush to like track your pages and your badges and things like that, I don't know if you can add friends on there, but if you want to add me, if it's a possibility that you can, my username on there is just adashofash. Anyway, okay, I'm really excited for the Reading Rush, and I hope you guys are too, but I think that's everything that I wanted to say. So thank you guys so much for watching. All of my links are in the description below if you are interested in checking me out on any other social media, and I will catch you later. Goodbye!